So, you've spent some downtime in Dunhollow catching up with familiar faces, running errands, etc. You've discussed the odd goings-on in the capital, the changing of the Iron Guard to the Black Hand, the isolationism of the High King. Dejar perused the city's criminal underbelly for some information and spiritual enlightenment, with some ominous messages regarding her husband. Liska's been catching up with some fellow hunters from the Hunter's Keep, making progress on a fancy adamantine armour. Vellum seemed to mend his relations with a rather shady merchant and clear his conscience a bit. But with the effort to craft an instant fortress agreed upon and underway, Angus approached Master Engineer Grugnir Sparkbeard for assistance, and he'd provide you with the excavated stone necessary to create the tower. Grunker shenanigans happened, and he uses his new magic fishing hook to reel in strange fishes from odd places, namely this time a singing flying bass that caused terror and confusion in the local citizens. After that, construction began on the instant fortress, bought from Rune Lord Dengar Runor. 8.5 days of strenuous work, assisted by the magical insights of Dejar and the master artifice of Saryun. And great clockwork cranes lent to you by the master engineer. Eventually, the tower was completed. But before leaving, Angus spoke to Dengar to do right by his end of the deal and hand over the necessary expenses for the tower, and also he was informed that Princess Tora had secretly absconded from Dunhollow, headed to Angus's temple in Mountain Hall. Angus asked a message to be passed on to her, along with one of his mustache prayer beads. Perhaps he be smitten. And with a deep, reverent prayer, Angus setting his safe point at the Doonheart Forge for Doon forbid future use. So, with all of your goodbyes said, you make your way back through the Waystone, back to the southern wall, eager to continue your journey through Tansia proper. The sun beams down upon you from above, the skies are strikingly blue, the wind is a warm breeze, a good day for travel. Though, over the course of the day, some of you are lost in thought, namely Dejar. Being the absent-minded individual she is, she thinks back to a certain meeting she had in Dunhollow, wondering whether or not she did the right thing. Memories fade in and out, and you're back in Dunhollow, for the moment at least. Or at least your memories take you there. It's the day after your tense meeting with the High Chalice Inquisitor, known as Aja. A deal was on the verge of being made, but more information would be needed. Need to be provided. And you return to the last place you found him, amidst the bustling streets. You wait in the shadowed alley. And eventually, a slight and cold voice emerges beside you.
Welcome back.
Turn around, you see Aja standing nearby, as if he'd always been there. However, he's not alone. Two individuals join his side. The first is a heavily armoured knight, human male, draped in blue and gold tabard. and he holds a heavy-looking two-handed maul. And he wears a great helm that completely obscures his face. He has a sort of a Templar aesthetic to him. And he just stands silently next to Aja. The second is a feminine figure. Her face is also obscured with a similar white mask decorated with gold filigree, similar to Aja. And she wears a long, plain white robe and a hood that represents a nun's habit. And a tome hangs from her side. And she tilts her head up at you, then she looks to Aja. Are you sure this is her, Lord Inquisitor?
There is no mistake.
Then might I
Jean.
suggest somewhere more private?
Absolutely. Jean, we have some business to attend to. I think it would be in everyone's best interest, us and you, if it was somewhere a little more private.
Very well.
Come. Walk. Slither. Join us.
Then
Oh.
follows.
You will start walking in front.
Oh, and where are my manners? This is Brother Bertram.
The
Sister Ghislaine.
tall knight gives a slight nod. You'd be forgiven for thinking he didn't nod his head at all, but there's that slight motion to his helmet. And Sister... Let's see. Sorry, I have my notes here. Completely forgotten them already.
Ghislaine.
Sister Ghislaine gives a slight, a sort of more friendly bow of the head to you, Dejar.
And she
Oh,
would
wow, he
head
moved. He likes you. Well,
that, and
if you would just come this way. It's a little home with a courtyard we've acquired the use of for now.
well then.
Aja leads you through a series of back alleys towards a small, relatively out of the way, empty and quiet courtyard.
This is a place where a number of the Kingston soldiery is currently living. So, we're amongst familiar faces. This is part of the relief corps here to help. So if you need something, know that help is always nearby. Now, we have a few matters to discuss. First and foremost, to make sure no time is wasted, have you procured thorough documents?
God has.
Very good. Now, you have, as instructed, filled them fully, honestly, with all the information required. Nothing withheld.
Yes.
Yes. Alright. Now, there is a few practices that are commonplace when dealing with, how shall I say, individuals of your type. Whenever there is a mutual cooperation between the High Chalice and Major A. So, Brother Bertram here will be seeing to the honesty of your answers. I would recommend relaxing your mind, taking a deep breath, and expelling all thoughts of discomfort. There will be a little magic over you, and he'll know if you are being honest. In fact, you shouldn't be able to be dishonest. And of course, dodge questions and answers with more questions, though I really recommend against that. Would suggest being open and very communicative. Everything we ask, because if you are, it makes it easier for us to trust you. You start trying to hide things, this meeting won't go where we wish it to. Does that sound fair?
It's fair.
Very good. Brother, if you would,
Brother
commence
Bertram
this out.
kind of takes heed, gives a nod to you, Aja. Kind of unsheathes his massive maul. Kind of spins it around so that the head is angled towards the ground, and you swear you hear the faintest whisper under his breath beneath the helmet, and takes the hammer against the solid ground, and a series of runes light up around you, Dejar. This wide circle. You've seen this before, different style, but similar spell. From Angus. This is a zone of truth. Do you resist?
Nope. Not resist.
Alright. You feel a slight tingle in both your chest and your mind as the spell takes hold. Brother Bertram, you hear the clinking of armour as this massive man kind of looks back over towards Aja expectantly, awaiting your questions to Dejar.
Very good. Alright, so let's just see and check these notes here. Alright. Oh, first off, do you intend to be honest and fully cooperate with the Inquisition?
Yes. Be honest.
Very good. And this is the case where you could not tell a direct lie, rather than it would be revealed. So she is, in this case, being fully honest.
Yep. You're being fully honest. Alive.
Awesome. Just trying to think of the meta information because the spell wasn't pinged. In fact, I think I can ping it so everyone can know.
There you go.
Okay. Very good. To expand upon that, is it true that you have a list of names in relation to the Black Hand, and your involvements and nefarious misdeeds?
Yes.
The information within is fully documented, and no names have been purposefully or willfully omitted.
Correct.
There's twinge in Brother Bertram, and he looks to you, Aja.
So, was that a deliberate lie? Because if you're under this spell, you cannot even tell a deliberate lie.
Yeah, let me...
You can choose... Yeah.
I didn't quite...
There
Okay.
was...
All names.
So,
I will say that if you don't know it's a lie, you can tell a lie.
oh yeah, if you do not know it is a lie, because you believe it to be true, misinformation is different than a deliberate lie.
Yeah,
that is
like
the
if
case.
somebody changed
But
the documents but you weren't aware of it, then you're telling the truth because you don't know. You don't know shit.
you put the full information. Somebody else fucked with it. You don't know. As far as you're aware, as far as you're knowledgeable, it's complete information. But if you're the only one that's had it, it's a case of, have you put everything involved? You know, did you do anything? Are you omitting any names? It's like, did you willfully leave anybody out of this?
Okay, so
I can rephrase it for a little more clarity if that would help.
that would help.
Okay. Thinking about the easiest way just to say it. Have you purposefully or negligently omitted any names, informations, or roles of individuals in these documents?
Or have.
Negligently. Like, how the fuck do you know if it's
Yeah,
negligent?
you wouldn't know if it's negligently.
He
Oh, well, yeah,
purposely-
you're correct. Sorry, I'm
he
thinking of something
purposely-
else.
Omitted a name.
Who did you omit?
Lucia, my sister.
I also just want to say that Dejar is fully aware that you don't have to give. You can give
Yeah.
slide answers.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to tell the
Yeah,
exact full truth.
Because
Okay.
you've been through this spell before with Angus.
Yeah.
So
And the information is there in chat. You are not compelled to answer. And these sort of things.
Yeah, if you want to, you can say, "I will not say."
Yeah.
You can plead the fifth.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think you, Black Spice, were expecting this, and it's kind of put you on the
no,
spot.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
So
We
Okay.
did talk about it earlier in the day before the session, so nothing was thrown on completely. So there was a little bit of an idea, but maybe I did make it. Yeah.
clear enough, but it's okay. Oh,
Okay.
answer would be
Yeah. So, have you omitted any names or information deliberately? And that response is
omitted a name deliberately, and she cannot tell you that name.
that makes it very difficult to trust you if you are hiding information. Why are you not willing to tell us?
He's very quiet for a moment, thinking how to word this answer.
Take your time and collect your thoughts. In fact, he'll even say, I encourage you to think about the things you're going to say. Make your point concise and clear.
Ooh. Do a power move and tell the truth. That's something you're going to have to deal with.
I'm sorry, I could not understand you, Adam. I heard do a power move and deal with.
That's fine. I was chewing at the same time because, peanut butter. So,
Yep.
I feel you. Just ignore me.
Based.
Because they are a dear friend, and I worry for their safety.
We requested, I specifically asked for a full list with everything and not to omit important details. Do you feel are holding your end of the bargain when you agreed to do that? by deliberately omitting names and details? Commander, you can be vague or sly. You did say that you would be honest in things earlier, but feelings can change after saying that, as you know, can. But you don't have to just say all the truth. You're not compelled to answer. It's compelled not to lie.
Made a promise to my family. It's the only one I have. I'm not breaking that promise. Broken once before, breaking one again.
Sister.
So you will. Go ahead.
Sister Gala sort of pipes up for a moment. Lord Inquisitor, if I might share some wisdom. Perhaps if she does not want to reveal this name, maybe the other names in that list might be able to lead us to it. Fill in the blanks, shall we say.
The issue isn't so much of if we will be able to obtain the information. As I promise you, if I want to, I will get that info. The issue here is having agreed to do something and then not doing it, and deliberately obscuring info. That makes it very uneasy for you. How can I know to trust you and that everything is when you are deliberately obscuring things? So, where? If you are not willing to hold your end of the deal, why should we work with you?
Verbally, God is giving her head on the platter.
So you've put your head on a platter and you've come to us. Good. I'm glad we don't have to seek you out. And we should work with you because you willingly came to us, despite the fact that you immediately on the first task deliberately failed it. Perhaps I can give you a little more. Let's change this approach. Who told you that Infinis Sanguinis had been taken? Disappeared.
I was informed that something precious was taken by Hans for my test. I put two and two together and I scryed upon Elizabeth being resurrected. but no one told me.
No one told you the book itself was taken. But
Nope.
Hans said something precious had been taken.
Yes. He was very big, and
So this Hans was aware.
aware of something was taken. I don't know what, but when he first said it. But on test, I put two and two together and magic to get it out.
Archer, that name Hans rings a bell to you. She's talking about Hans van Richter.
Second. Are you referring to Hans van Richter?
Yes.
Very good, very good. Good know. Then we will continue forward. What did you do for the test?
Can you repeat that again?
What did you do for your test?
I took but one of this high-ranking vampires and rescued 5 kidnapped.
I think you're cutting out a little bit. You're definitely being cut off.
Yeah, is your gate being funky again?
Might be. Give me a second. Took out someone in Elizabeth's court and rescued few girls kidnapped.
Okay. It's impressive to do. Congratulations. You. No. How shall I most clearly say this to you? You have obtained and know a state secret and are attempting to use my past actions. I don't know what else you would consider it but blackmail. Is that correct? State secret being that the book has disappeared. The blackmail is what you mentioned before of necromancy resurrecting the orc Salyun Greymind.
It's quiet for a moment. Blackmail is such a harsh term. More like giving you information that someone knows. That I know. Nothing more.
You could put a few dots together and figure that out. Be very cautious about how you intend to spread that information. Because if such a thing were to be considered seeing as it is a breach. Procedure. Any necromancy school magics. That mistake would have to be rectified. You said before that the Hammer Strike, friends that you're loyal to. If it is to be considered of bringing the orc back a mistake, then it is one the High Chalice will undo. So, this said, I hope we can be on the same grounds and understand what actions will be taken going forward if you do not cooperate. If you are not, I'm thinking of a more polite term. Subservient. Galeen, do you have any suggestions?
Perhaps we should think of this more of a partnership, Dejar, dear.
Perfect. Partnership, yes. If you are not a fair and cooperative partner, then it will be unfortunate that the High Chalice will have no choice but to correct some of their more generous mistakes in allowing this information and individuals who hold it to be free,
And,
as well as... Oh, yes, go ahead, contribute. I'm always open to...
I'd also like to point out, Lord Inquisitor, she did say she slew one of those on Von Dragel's High Court. I'm
yes.
hearing this correctly. Maybe she might be of some use to us.
You know, I agree, and that's why we're having this conversation. I feel you would be a wonderful addition to the long arm of the Inquisition. Or maybe a palm of the Inquisition.
Well, to be fair, Lord Inquisitor, she did say on her huntsman's test. Which branch are you from again, Dejar, dear?
Langsmore Lodge.
The Langsmore. Well, they're the Langsmore Lodge of the Hunter's Keep. They're already under the I've completely forgotten the name. The term for it.
Jurisdiction?
Yeah, there you go. They're already under the jurisdiction of the High Chalice.
Oh, well, that's good. If that's the case, then surely you have not violated the Iron's Gate Accord or practiced necromancy yourself?
Only it's healing.
I can't make out Dejar.
I couldn't understand.
Yeah, Black Spike's been way too quiet.
It's weird.
During
Your final words are cutting out. It might be a case where you have to enunciate closely and make sure the final words are not quiet and trailing off.
He only used it for healing. No more.
Okay. Only use necromancy for healing.
That's very strange. You see, I'm quite adept in healing myself, Dejar, dear, and I've never quite used necromancy to achieve such a feat. What type of necromancy are you talking about?
is very quiet at that point. He's looking for the right word.
Of course, take your time if you need to. Again, clear and concise. We can be here for quite a while. Do we need to refine the question for you?
Yes, please.
Very well.
Brother Bertram, how long does this spell last? How much have we got left? And you watch as this clanking of armor as Brother Bertram holds up 5 fingers.
Alright, 5 more minutes. Then, if that's the case, we will start moving a little bit quicker. Have you done soul necromancy?
He shakes her head.
Is the correct answer no?
No.
So you have done.
Hasn't
All right.
done.
All right. So you have not done soul necromancy.
Correct.
Well, have you done curse necromancy?
Why are you answering these? Fuck. Sorry, I didn't realize I was not. I'm sorry.
Oh, Deja.
Remember,
Deja.
you are under no obligation. Do not feel like you are obliged as a player. Act like a smart snack. Carry on.
That was
I'm glad somebody's like, what?
Oh, you've been not paying attention to party chat. It has been all over the place.
Yeah. Everyone in party chat is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's like, stop talking.
So, is she just doing a long pause there? Is she not answering at all?
He's not answering at all.
I'll repeat. Have you done curse necromancy? The one that manifests as a green aura.
It's okay, Deja, dear. Take your time.
Well, okay. I can understand where we're at. So, if that's the case, then we'll move forward a little bit more. Do you have the documents with you that you said you've prepared?
Deja, dear,
It's just
you
a yes
okay?
or no.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have the documents with you that you were going to bring today?
Yes, the yacht has them.
Okay. And he holds out his hand. Would you please give them over?
He gives them over. And then lets go.
Okay. Would you like me to describe what's in these documents, Black Spice? Or would you
Because
like to do
he's
that?
going to open them up and do a quick skim.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. We had pins, didn't we? Oh,
Yes.
Hang on now. Here we go. So, 3 names stick out to you, Aja. on the first 3 pages. Andrus Vale, Carkis Thornbeard, Evandra Arx. These appear to be influential nobles within Cliffspire that are allied to the Black Hand and feed them information. They seem to be experts in shuffling money about. They own companies that are subsidiaries of the Black Hand. I will stick those names in the party chat. Here you go. There's also an individual called Igrish Ultrafar. He is an influential head cultist, a second in command, if you will. And then there is Crovin Malstrid. He is a lead engineer and artificer. He reverse engineers impish golems for use by the Black Hand. Impish golems are significant pieces of technology. They are on the cutting edge of golemancy. The fact that the Black Hand have managed to get their hands on these types of golems is worrying indeed.
This is some good information. Thank you. And this isn't part of the Black Hand. This is the group. You got this because you were, as my sources have already confirmed, but I want to see if you'll tell me, part of the Black Hand. It's a very simple question.
Can you repeat that? Let me think out for me.
Sure. So you got this information because you were part of the Black Hand. Okay. And these are Black Hand members? Correct. Oops. These are members of the Black Hand?
Yes.
Alright. So you were part of this organization?
You can see the zone around Jar, the runes are beginning to flicker.
Okay. Alright. We have a little bit time left. If that is the case, there's a bit of investigation we need to do. Now, this has become quite official. You know, and have gained access to High Chalice secrets. You have willingly withheld information from us after saying that you would, and you are a direct affiliation and were a member of this group that has not only violated the Ironsgate Accord, according to you, but has done things which compromise the security of the Northern Hemisphere, you could say. So, Dejar, you are under direct investigation right now. You need to comply with us. Because at this point, we are very concerned of your involvement and what you could do. If you can do anything to ease us away from that and think, no, she'll work with us, it would help tremendously. So if that is the case, I want to make sure that you've been honest with us and that you haven't done anything wrong. So if you would, may I please see your spellbook? I promise it will be returned to you.
Don't worry, if he doesn't return to you, I'll get it off him for you. He kind of gives you a wink.
To ease your comfort, I will not touch it at all. I won't look at it. Well, I might glance, to be honest. I will look at it. I won't hold it, I won't touch it, I will not cast any magics on it. I will interact it no way other than to perceive it. Galeen here will be the one holding it, and when we're done here, Galeen will be the one that returns it to you.
He is very quiet, her face nodded up, or looking back at her.
It's okay, dear. I know how tomes are personal to us all. And kind of clasps her tome at her own side. We won't destroy it. We just want to take a look.
All we're going to do is look at it, and then we will return it. I'll ease your mind. Even if you have something in there that you shouldn't, I promise I will give your tome back to you.
Before that, I want assumptions straight. Order.
You're cutting out.
My alliance lies with the Hammer Strike and no one else. Former with the Black Hand. That's straight.
Of course. Your alliance lies with the Hammer Strike. The ones that's currently here. Been staying at the Hunter's Keep. Yes.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Now, onto my spell book. Holding it has a death grip on it. You do realize a mage's tome is their life's work. To give this up so freely is
Jar, this is not a light thing that we ask of you. I understand completely.
What if, for your ease, then you hold front and back faces of the book, and you only face it in our direction. Galil is the only one, and she'll just finger through the pages. You never give it up, you just let us look. This is a compromise we normally don't give people. I am very interested in working with you, and I am trying my best here. Very, very hard to appease you. Give me something to work with. Give me a reason to keep this deal going. Do you have something to hide with this? Is that why you won't let us see?
That's it starts laughing.
So at that
You know
point
what?
that the runes flicker out.
You know what? No. And this is absolute yes. She will open her book, but all Sylvan.
Sylvan. Yep, out of character. Sylvan.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at it, and you will actually see the face of the mask. For just a flicker of a moment, it looks confused, and then it goes back to neutral.
Asha, you can read Sylvan.
Damn it, Janner.
What? What?
I did not want that known.
I mean, you hit
But,
that
okay.
anyway.
Yeah, this is true. So he'll look at it, and there's that flick of confusion on the mask for just a second before it goes back to neutral. So she just holds it out, and she's holding on to it like he says. Like he asked. He touches it with a finger, and he kind of flicks through the pages.
Up. Before he even flicks, and sister was supposed to touch.
What?
Repeat, please.
You're
Your
cutting
sister
out
was
there.
supposed to. Your sister was supposed to read it.
I said I would perceive it. I would look at it. I did say I would. We changed the terms, you see, from her holding it and looking at us to us being able to look at it and finger through the pages. Are you really going to make such... Are you really going to make such a big deal out of this? This is... Now I'm becoming worried.
No, that's fine.
Alright, that's all I ask. He's just going to finger through it for a moment. Okay. Okay. Alright. Is there anything in the book that raises red flags, Jenny? Is there necromancy stuff?
There is. Of note, a couple of cantrips that sort of prick up your inquisitorial ears and eyes. Blood grip, sanguine control, blood necromancy.
Couple cantrips.
There's also Crimson Cage, another blood necromancy spell. There's also blood reading. Hemorrhage. I'd say that's a 4th level spell. That's a fairly nasty one. Blood puppetry. Effectively puppeting someone through their own blood, like blood bending from Avatar.
And what level do these spells go up to?
Up to 6th.
She's holding the book right now.
He's holding the book.
Okay, I look to her hands. Is she attuned to a ring, or does she have a brand?
It seems as though she has a ring on her. A sanctioned necromancer's ring.
Yet she has this. This is... This is concerning. Because that's an attuned item, the ring. And you need to be attuned to it.
The ring itself is more of a status.
I believe I remember when Siren had it, it was an attunement ring.
I don't
recall.
I don't think it ever
exactly.
was, no.
No.
No, it wasn't.
So, you have some very concerning things in here. And at the same time, you want the Infinite Sanguinus, which aligns perfectly with your work.
Quiet.
Dijar, you're not under the compulsion to tell the truth anymore. The spell has faded. You've probably felt that.
Yes, but she's
But
being honest. Quiet. Honest.
you are. These are very dark magics, which coincide perfectly with the book that you want. Okay. Have you... By the heavens. Why would you come to us with this information? No, I appreciate your honesty and forthrightness.
Lord Inquisitor, though I be so bold.
Suggestions?
There are those that work within the inner circles of the Hunter's Keep. The Inquisition has worked with them before. Those that do use these types of magics, but far too useful for us to imprison, throw in the dungeons, or
You're right. Yeah.
render non-existent from this world.
So, Dejar, I will be quite honest with you. With what you've said, the information that you have, what is in your book, it's very concerning. Can you just... And he takes his hand back from the book so you can have it. Go ahead and secure that how you wish.
Puts it away.
Where does she put it away?
In a bag. The bag.
In a bag?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question? In her day-to-day, walking around, I'm guessing she has her bag of holding?
No.
She doesn't have her bag of holding with her at the moment.
No. Just keep.
Just has it in a sack. Okay. Does she have any staff or anything with her?
No.
Okay. Well, this has been very enlightening. Well, this much is on the table. I'll ask the rest. I would suggest being honest, because otherwise we're just going to cast Identify and Detect magic at this point to see if you're being honest. Do you have any items on you capable of necromancy? Keep in mind the spell is faded. At this point, all he would do is insight you.
It has some items that are
Yeah, some items what?
her mission or catching quarry.
So some items on her for missions and catching quarries.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you're cutting out in there.
Yep.
Uh,
Do you have... But, by the way... Is she attuned to the rings right now? And the items that make her hands turn all skeletal?
No, not while in. Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
And he will insight that. Kind of up. Is this?
16.
Are you at all lying and want to roll a deception?
No, he's not attuned to. I'm not gonna roll deception.
You are attuned to the Wraith Ring, the Wraith Garb, and the Wraith Circlet.
I can't really mess with my sheets though.
Oh, right, yeah.
Wait,
You're
you're attuned to all of that stuff?
No, hang on. The sheet's being buggy here. It's it's not showing attunement slots, and it's just showing everything as attuned.
Oh.
So never mind.
And also, at the time, I do not believe the child
Yeah.
was attuned to it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Never mind.
But alright, does she have any items capable of necromancy? And she says just things to help her with her work or catch her quarry.
yeah.
So do you have any soul stones left, if that's the case? Just reminder.
Oh,
No? Okay. Awesome. Because don't know if that was missed. Because somebody still had some, I think.
I think they're all given to Angus.
Okay.
yeah.
Alright. Okay. I'm glad we're starting to get somewhere. So, you've gone through the Moorbach, and you've dealt with that recently. And that can be a very challenging place. Sometimes, given its nature and the perils of the place. Especially, we heard that you killed a dragon.
Lich dragon. Very tough.
Ooh. A lich dragon. That's concerning. Did you feel any sort of great weight upon you, or a deep sadness, or some sort of almost out-of-body feeling of woe imposing itself upon you?
Gives a light nod.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you still have that feeling on you? Do you still feel like you have that?
He nods again.
Okay. Has anyone treated you to remove that yet?
He's in southern wall. It was cut off, but
I'm sorry, you're cutting out so much I can't understand anything you're saying.
right, it's basically saying that went to a something was taken away. Feels the same.
I heard went to the something was taken away.
Went to a priest at the south wall and something was taken away.
There you go.
But he still feels the same.
Okay. That's very good to know. So a priest cured you and you still feel this way. That's very worrying. I've noticed that you do have that sort of fatigued look underneath you. Little bags under your eyes. Did you do anything or encounter anything while you were in the Moorbog? Touch any dark sort of items or relics that may have left this imparted feeling on you?
Thinking. Honestly, it was most of blood. I can remember.
I don't remember. What about any sort of black or red stones. Did you touch or handle any sort of black or red stones? Kind of looks Jimmy. Let me know if you say something, because when you cut out, it's hard. As you said, you were with Draco Lich, and sometimes they can have these artifacts. And, you know, they can be very magical in a negative way.
At this point, he's going to get up. I think we're done here.
Your silences and determination to leave is worrying some. And you need me to roll to see if she's trying to hide something in that?
Yep.
I'm asking Jenner in that part.
Yes,
Dejar.
this would be a deception check on Dejar's part versus your insight.
And I'm gonna go ahead. Oof.
Oof.
That's not as good.
Oof.
But let's see, what's that other one? There's that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that little angelic whisper thing.
Oh.
Is a D4 against that. So let's see. So it's meet or beat.
Mm-hmm.
She has rolled a deception, and I'm trying to meet or beat 12.
Mm-hmm.
9 plus 3 is 12.
Meets it exactly. She's hiding something. It's difficult to tell.
And it's specifically at that.
Yeah.
And she said she was cured, but she's still missing something, and she has the feelings of woe, and was a Draco Lich. Dejar, I said you're under full investigation. I didn't say you could leave. If you want to leave now, you're throwing everything away. And I remind you, it is not just you that pays the consequences for your actions. Do you want to leave? You can leave right now. Slither away if you want. But just know what that means for all the other little mistakes that have been made. We now know that you have forbidden necromancy. We are under suspicion of you breaking the accord. You have admitted to having some sort of unusual feeling that couldn't be cured by going through the Morbog after dealing with a lich.
Dejar. Doesn't need to be this way.
You see if you can talk sense into her.
Sister Grayla nods, kind of makes her way over to Dejar. Look, Dejar, we're just trying to get to the bottom of this. We need your help. We need you to cooperate. Okay?
Getting to the bottom of this, does that mean you're trying to force me? Or asking me to be honest, since the spell is no longer enough?
We just need you to be honest, Dejar, with us. You've slaughtered one of Von Drago's council members. That certainly puts you in our good graces, but there's a lot to be desired with what's been revealed. Perhaps if you might be able to cooperate with us, then we could certainly polish that record.
We can overlook a lot of things. But hiding things and running away from questions puts you in a very bad light.
Looks at
I heard him start to talk and I can't tell what he's saying.
He reluctantly sits back down.
Thank you. Then we have just what we need. We can just go through it quickly. Tell you what, we don't need to ask any more questions about you. We understand that now. We've got a better picture of who you are and what you're capable with and how you can help us. Thank you for letting me see your book. Now, all I want, all that is needed for you to get our help, for us to cooperate together, is just complete your list. If you can't be honest, if you are going to deliberately lie and hide things from us, how do we know we can trust you? How do we know any of this is true?
So, just to prevent this going on for much longer and taking kind of eating up a lot of the session.
Yep.
Deja, you have a choice here. Are you going to fully cooperate with them, or are you going to run? Choice.
He is at this point going to have to wait.
Going to cooperate.
Okay.
Alright then.
We're getting somewhere. Good.
And
This is how we can cooperate with you.
And with that, we fade back as Deja snaps. Oh,
Well, fully?
there.
Is she fully cooperating with everything? Because we mentioned one thing beforehand in our talks, and it is very important. Is she fully cooperating with everything that we mentioned before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full names, everything.
'Cause
And she's very fully cooperative.
fantastic.
Okay.
Talked about it before the session start, but if that's the case, when the full names and everything is done, the information that is revealed, at that point, it is a case where, let me just double check this really quick. He will say, okay, we'll do a handshake. And we'll finish this process. You'll finally be working with us. And the right hand is out. And his left hand, there you can see. She gonna go to shake it?
And she's going to go take it.
Okay. I was gonna try and finish describing it. But he is holding the symbol
for the Ironsgate brand. As you shake the hand, then he's going to press it against the back of your other hand.
And this is the branding process, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You feel this sudden searing pain in the back of your hand, Dejar. And as the hand taken away, you see at the back of your hand, as your heart drops, the branding mark of a branded necromancer.
I'm so glad that we could rely on you. Have this just become really official. Well, we don't often talk about it, but the High Chalice is very welcoming to those willing to work for the greater good, with the greater good.
Greater good.
Now.
Good.
Oh yeah, just gonna finish. Now, we will be in touch. And remember, I would consider being very careful about what you reveal, and about reminding yourself of this moment and where your allegiances lie. And at that moment, he's going to step back for a moment, and you might detect a little bit of magic as Disguise Self happens. And Azure turns into Saoyun. Says, just remember. And steps back again, and he turns into Vellum. You ain't the only one that pays the consequences of your actions. And it is a perfect impression of his voice. Actor feed. We'll be in touch.
That phrase repeats in your mind. Be in touch. Be in touch. As you fade back from your daydream, you're back in the cart. The red iron laden rock rolling before you. And you look to the back of your hand, wondering if you made the right choice.
Should be heckin' windy.
The answer was that you didn't.
Look, there's a lot of sand.
Hang on.
Big.
But yes, I don't know if you saw my message, Janet.
Yes. Everyone good for a 5-minute break after that?
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Okay, I'm gonna
Sorry.
break
This is
time.
why I really wanted things to be done in text, so it wouldn't take this time.
No, it's not about it. It's fine.
Alright. I'm gonna pause the recording here.
Done. Sorry.
So-
Done. Sorry.
So, Dejar, as you kind of wrap your hand back up, you kind of look out towards the red-orange iron-laden rock. You can see striations, patterns portraying great eras of geologic activity. Cracks in the rock formations create these enormous crevasses and other sort of crevices worn smooth from thousands of years of blasted winds and erosion. After a few hours, Saoyun, you notice something in the dried mud and dirt a few hundred feet off. A pattern that seems to cross over the stone pathway and it continues on. What look like these large indents in the ground. Footprints. And there's many of them. Hundreds. Creating this large blanket of tracks imprinted in the ground.
What kind of size are they?
As you kind of veer a bit closer with your convoy, you get a better look at them. They appear to be large, round, each about 4 to 5 feet in diameter, with stubby claws.
Yes, Sal will definitely ping this to everybody, because what kind of creature or pack leaves this level of trail? Anyway, as everybody hears over the earring, guys, I think we may have something up ahead. It looks almost like a stampede of some sort.
The Yard would. The Yard will. Words. It'll take a few seconds for the Yard to mentally check it back in. Wait. What do you mean by that?
It means
Have we like gotten to it?
You're just about to sort of pass the outer edges of this blanketed pattern in the ground.
Okay. Does Sal in any way indicate that we're about to run over him?
yeah.
Okay.
Angus, could you hold the tank for a moment?
Right. Toot, and halt.
And Sao just sort of makes a gesture to Liska and then just points. What do you make of this?
I can't move my character.
Yeah, we're trapped. We can't move
We
ourselves.
are trapped.
Oh dear.
Why am I trapped in?
You're going
Hey.
in the Shane box, Jaja.
Wait, hang on. Oh, for
I think it
fuck's
might be a
sake.
permission issue.
You should be able to move yourselves. Don't know what's going on here.
Oh,
Nope.
are we in combat? Because it says
We
movement
paused.
is set to combat to.
Oh.
I think we're
okay.
still-
We're about to be
Combat.
ambushed, guys.
Check the sandbox.
Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Let me go ahead. Oh, for fuck's sake, Chrome. Why you got to freeze on me?
No.
It's Chrome.
Chrome. Yeah.
Chrome, what do you
It
expect?
wants your RAM.
Devours memory.
Says I as I'm on Chrome. Then again, I have a shit ton of RAM.
I got new RAM recently.
I need to upgrade my ship.
Also, is this the
Okay.
morning after the camp? Because that's where we left off.
I think so.
I assume this is the day after because last we left, we were making camp at night.
Yeah. This is effectively the day after.
Oh,
there we
okay, I
go.
have a morning craft.
End combat. There we go.
Hooray, we're free!
Okay, you should be able to move.
Give me a moment. Just
Jesus.
we need some riff from you.
So where are said
Uh,
up front?
They should be around about here-ish.
theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Let's just gonna go up front, kind of get down, do some survival check.
All right. Survival 23. Yeah. The depth and size of these prints and the sort of freshness of the mud around them seems to indicate that these were that whatever made these are very large, very heavy, and it may have been within the last day or so. Dejar, make a nature check for me.
Okie dokie.
This will, of course, convey this information to the group.
21. In your various studies around about various fauna across the world, you've heard of certain creatures of enormous size. A subfamily of dinosaurs called sauropods, recognized by their large, sort of their long necks, long lumbering gaits, and even longer tails. They sort of fulfill the niche that elephants would normally have here in Tansia. And these tracks indicate that such enormous tree creatures, they do travel in herds.
Yara would be looking at the prints for a minute, then thinking back to her studies. Huh. These are sauropods. He just says, blurting it out. Oh, right. They're essentially large, really large, essentially herbivores. They have long necks and can eat off the top of trees. Very.
Very tasty.
I'd rather not you. Okay, I'll put it this way. Imagine Liska, but double the size of Morlafax when she grew. You would be nothing but a smear. No offense, Krunga, but no.
Like a lot of meat.
Liska's gonna look around a bit and just be like, then why are they here? There's no trees.
That's a good thing. I don't know. Either they're migrating, looking for more food, maybe.
Janner, can I get a general sense on if they're running from something? If this was just like a meandering pace, or
This definitely seems like a more meandering pace than running. If it was running, that gate would be a lot further spread out. That makes sense.
I don't. Like, I guess maybe they're migrating or something. Do these sauropods migrate?
If there's not enough food in one area, yeah, they'll try and find another area that has enough food for them.
Okay. Well, alright. I guess we will continue. Are there any? You said that the herbivores. Is there any? How do you say what is wording? Wait, carnivores that are as big as this?
Make a nature check, Tajar.
He can't transform into one. That's
10. I mean, biggest you've ever seen before would indeed be the creature you've been able to transform into. You've never seen one of them in person, but you have read a number of books of fiction and non-fiction that depict such creatures.
I've read about one. Snaps her fingers. He says something in Sylvan Blast. T-Rex? If I'm saying it correctly in trade tongue.
T-Rex. Like Tears X? Like that was what do you?
The tier and if I'm
Like,
is correct,
did someone name it after they broke up with their significant other? Like, what is?
No, it's more like it tears, like rip and tear.
Actually, what is your passive? Oh, you're not trained in nature.
They will. That thing can hunt those sauropods and rip, from what I've read, huge chunks of meat.
So, what you're saying is, I need to be very watchful of anything.
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Watch out for anything with a big mouth and very obvious teeth. You said it's like Mortestex, yes? Like dragon? So yeah, we'll most likely have visible
Yes.
teeth.
Very visible teeth.
So Sao just sort of looks to Liska for a moment and then just sort of tilts her head as she's thinking about something and then just sort of nods. Okay. I should basically be on the lookout for a bigger version of you.
I mean,
And she just sort of cracks a smile.
should I don't smile as often though.
All right. Continuing on the road then.
Yes.
All right.
Also, Vellum will continue teaching Vladimir how to drive.
All right.
Why are you teaching a kid to drive?
So I don't have to. And also, you never know when skill might come in handy.
I mean, yeah.
All right. It was an animal handling check for Vladimir.
Here we go.
+1 modifier. We'll see how this goes.
Oh,
He's a
snap.
natural.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Who knew Vellum was such a good teacher?
Vladimir
Definitely gonna take
is definitely learning quickly. She has a very steady grip on Bastion, and taking on board what what you told her before about getting a firm grip in the reins. Bastion kind of veers to one side and she kind of tugs on the other rein. No, this way. And it's surprisingly handling this well.
No pun intended.
Shush. After a few hours, Sayun,
Yeah, I'm actively looking out
Yeah,
for
yeah.
shit now.
For giant teeth-bearing
Yeah.
monsters.
I mean, it's one thing to be told, oh yeah, they're just giant, rather docile dinosaur-looking things walking around, and then being told, oh yeah, by the way, there's also the other part, which is bigger than Liska, the size of Mortifax, and equally as deadly, and just be like, cool.
So, about another day of travel passes along the Tansin Plains, and
For reference, Jana, the more travel time we do, I would like for you to write in party chat how many days we actually do travel.
Yes, important to know.
one day,
Just for, future purposes.
and I will make sure it's notified on the calendar.
Thank you.
God.
Okay,
Um,
so another day of travel. You notice something else upon the side of the road, about 200 feet off, so you notice what looks like a large brown and red shape slumped on the ground.
Yeah, I am definitely calling that out.
All right.
How far away is it?
About 200 feet off, and you're gradually approaching it.
Alright. Another heads up. There is something lying up ahead. It is kind of brownish and kind of large. I don't know
Like
what
a
it
rock?
is.
Like
Is there any movement?
It doesn't appear to be moving. It does look similar to the shade of rock that's around you, but you also notice as you're approaching it the distinct glint of red and the white of bone.
Yeah, I was about to ask, are all those red bits blood? And answer the question.
I think it might be a corpse. I am unsure if it is, a person or an animal.
In that case, let's. The fucking door sound effect. In that, Jesus Christ, fellow making masterwork.
I hope so. It's a long trip.
So in that case, let's go over the areas and be like, then in that case, can we stop for a second? I just want to double check something. And I guess if we're doing theater of the mind, Liska, once they stop, is going to kind of have her shield, have her sword ready, and kind of go up. And if there's nothing,
So as you're kind of approaching, you also see a number of smaller creatures perched around it, picking at these bones and flesh. They're each how do I best describe them?
I need compies.
Sort of. They are each the size of what looks like a cat. They look like sleek chickens with brightly coloured feathers, long toothy snouts, long feathered tails, and smaller wings. Kind of short, sharp claws on each foot. And as you approach, they immediately kind of chatter and chirp to each other and scatter.
Jesus, that was loud. Alright, Liska's going to kind of come up, and hopefully the chickens didn't disturb too much, because she's gonna, one, check the immediate area to see if there's anything huge, because it seems like there's a whole lot of carcass left, and a predator usually doesn't kill and leave a bunch of carcass. So she's going to look around in the immediate vicinity and ask Sal to as well. Be like, hey, Sal, now that we have stopped, can you please have a more thorough look around just to make sure there's nothing lurking in shadows?
One moment. And I'm guessing perception check.
Yeah, perception check, please.
Stand up again.
Yeah.
20. Nice.
Even on a low roll.
You notice tracks, so you're leading up to this corpse. A series of 4 tracks. 4 pairs, rather. They appear to be fresh. In fact, this guy make me a survival. Yeah.
I would say, would Sal know that without a survival check?
Yeah. Make a survival check for me.
Yeah. And I do actually kind of have a question, and this is just asking for clarification.
Yeah.
Would Sal be able to know tracks when she sees them without a survival check?
That's
is it just a? And I'm not saying she shouldn't. That's just me asking you as the DM. Like, if she can, awesome, because that makes sense. Like, she sees odd things in the ground. She might not know they're prints, but that's when Liska comes in. It's like, oh yeah, these are footprints, or Liska gains a bit more glean off of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Sal's gonna roll a nat 20 survival check, that's fine for me.
Yeah, 25 survival check. After having kind of seen it and pointed it out the day prior, you kind of know what to look out for now when it comes to tracks here in Tansia. They do appear to be fresh, or at least the composition of the mud seems to tell you. Within the last 24 hours, each of these 4 tracks have 3 claws. The first pair of tracks appears to occasionally switch from a 4-legged gait to a 2-legged gait before becoming this sort of large sliding line in the dirt, finishing up at the corpse. The next 2 tracks share a 2-legged gait and are larger, following parallel to either side of the first tracks. They appear to be running alongside this creature, and judging from the size of these 2 tracks, each of them would be about twice the size of an elephant. The last set of tracks shares a similar shape and gait to the latter 2. It too shares a sort of bipedal mode of locomotion, but these tracks are much larger. And at one point, shortly before that large groove that leads up to the corpse, this pair seems to merge and collide with the first tracks. This may have been a hunting trio of 3 enormous predators who have singled out this lone creature. And as you look over this corpse, this large half-eaten corpse of this large scaled creature. A sort of black and white colouring, long tail, larger back legs, shorter forelegs, a sort of beaked mouth, and its belly has just been torn open. Most of its innards are missing. The ground is just stained with blood.
Does it seem like it's mostly gone?
Mostly gone, yes.
Okay,
And actually, Sayan, because you rolled so high in your survival check, there is something pale and white amidst the tall brush that you find. A small cluster of loosely shaded scales that look like they were caught on a sharp rock and sort of pulled away right near where one of the largest of all 4 tracks is.
Liska, could you check that out over there? I see something. And that's basically my way of saying, like, hey, look.
Can Liska real quick do a general survival check to be like, exactly, can I get hours in regards to how fresh this kill is? Or like where, let's see, what would be more telling? Because it was the hunting trio and then big thing came through on top of that.
The big thing was part of that hunting trio. There were 2 smaller versions of itself.
Okay.
Oh god, it has younglings.
Wait, so, okay. The way you made it sound
Oh shit,
like it
Mama
was...
Bear's on it.
Wait, but you said there was something that went through and then slid, and there were 2 things on either side, but then there was a 4th creature that came with even bigger tracks.
Yes,
That would be the corpse, I think.
it would seem so with your survival check, Sayan. You could the first set of tracks that kind of switches between a 4-legged gate and a 2-legged gate seems to be that creature that now sits in front of you, Ned.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, then, yeah, I can just, check eating, scavenging marks, like just some things to see if I can get like a hour or 2 window of how long ago this thing might have died.
Yeah, just make me a general survival check. Well, DC's a bit lower for you because you're used to this sort of thing, tracking and hunting monsters and creatures. Probably within the last 12 hours.
Right. Cool. Liska will keep that in mind, and then Sal pointed something out, so she's gonna head on back and back to where there are like white scales somewhere, like wherever Sal points them out. And I guess she's going to take them off of the jagged rock or whatever it was brushed against. Have I seen these types of scales before?
You have not. They're a lot smaller than dragon scales. It's almost like a rhinoceros's hide, leathery, but also kind of covered in scales.
So kind of like dragons, but not really?
Doesn't look like dragon scales.
I'm talking about the feeling of it.
Oh, dragon scales are a lot harder.
Alright. Yeah, let's go. We'll take it, come back to the group, kind of spread the information. Like, so the kill seems to have been about half a day ago, and we've been driving for, I don't know how much time, but it seems that we are getting moderately close to whatever it is that is this. It was as Sal pointed out, like a trio, a hunting trio. Just all that's left now are scavengers, those tiny little furry chickens. Other than that, I think we just, again, keep an eye out. I think given what we are and how much noise we're making, I doubt that we'll be attacked directly. But, yeah.
I'm starting to worry now. Everything so far has just been bigger. I wonder how the tank will hold up.
Ah! Angus leans over the side and slaps. Baby, I'll be fine!
I'm not talking about durability, I'm talking about them crashing into it and then tipping it over.
I said baby, I'll be fine. Nothing could tip this lass over, and if it did, she's got a wench. It'll be okay.
I'll trust you on that one.
Like most dwarven women, a low center of gravity.
Right! See, she knows. Hey, wait a minute.
Let's get Clive back onto the.
Okay.
That was horrible.
Not wrong. I wouldn't say it around one of them.
Okay. You continue
It's
on
not
then.
polite to call a lass dense.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying she's a little slug. Hard to move, like stone. Like strong,
stone.
strong,
Very
heavy
good.
stone. Yes.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, Liska's not Zerth. Like, she's not a smooth talker.
So, as you continue on for the next day, so you've been travelling for 2 days.
Yay! More checks.
Dinner.
Yes.
At this time,
Oh, Robin.
I want to do something that was during the night.
Oh, okay. So give me,
Oh my.
bring you over to the camp.
No! Is it time? Is it time?
The time
it
for
is-
the chungus humongous.
Is
The
it is
reveal?
time.
I believe it is
Big
time.
reveal.
Perfect opportunity, really.
Also,
So
don't mind
when
me.
do you want to do it? At night or while we're setting up?
I think just as we're setting up.
Alright. Let's see, let's
Where is
find a
this
good
go?
spot. There we go.
There you go. Conker's just up in the brazier.
Doobie-doo.
Stolen Liska's seat, apparently.
Yes, you
Big
did.
Vellum out. But no, he's sitting there weirdly on the rock, so she's just gonna come
It's like on
he's
the edge of the
leaning-
rock, and
Yeah,
then
he's leaning back against it, so Liz gonna come up and just sit and put legs on either side of him.
Assert
That'd be
dominance.
awkward.
this is nice.
Crush between thighs.
I mean,
I
they
suddenly feel in a lot of danger, so I am going to move.
Oh, okay.
Between Liska's thighs is a dangerous place to be.
That's...
I don't think that's. You've got to click on the item.
No, I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it.
Oh, okay.
I'm measuring.
So as you're figuring that out, Deshal, what do you want to talk about?
I want to
Spot.
talk to Vadima,
Okay.
speaking in Sylvan. Vadima, can I see the egg?
But Budmia's eyes kind of go wide. Oh. Sure. He kind of hefts it up off of her back, and it's the first time you've all been been paying attention to this at this moment in time. The backpack looks a bit bigger than you remember.
Chunky.
Uh-oh.
It's bigger than... Huh. Can I hold the egg? He's still speaking Sylvan.
She kind of looks to you, Liska and Vellum, as if, you know, should I not? I don't know her well enough, you know.
Question. I know it's not set up on the map yet, but I presume we're inside the tower, the chonker.
Not yet, no.
Maybe
Ah,
Angus is just roaming around the camp, just hemming and
It's like,
hawing while
no,
we're having this
no, can't put
conversation.
it there. There's no
Yeah.
room in it.
Yeah, exactly what it
That's
is.
what
And
it
he's
looks like,
kind of
though.
pacing. He's pacing out and he's trying to
Okay.
find it. And
I want to be sure of the details first.
Liska's going to see Vadmia, like, give her a look, and she's gonna be like, just kind of look between her and Dajar, be like, I don't know what y'all are saying. I haven't been paying attention. What is happening?
Oh,
You're saying.
The jar switches from Sylvan to Trade Tongue. I asked Fatima if I could see the egg.
Vellum's going to poignantly look around to make sure that they're alone. I don't see a reason as long as you're careful.
I mean, it's a bit odd to say
Right.
it in a language we can't understand, but you know, whatever.
I mean, how often do you get to use a language you don't use often?
Liska is going to swap to demonic and be like, I mean, I get what you're saying.
And Vellum will respond in demonic. Yeah, I don't really use this one a lot.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead, buddy. She can be trusted, obviously, and
Okay.
I know she'll be careful with it. Give a little bit of a look to Dajar.
The jar she has a look like he's paying attention, but she's not. Then she just gives you a look and just nods.
Valdemir very, very, very gingerly kind of takes open the lid of the lip of the rucksack, and there's this glowing prismatic light that fills the general area. Like I can do this.
So what do you want to see it for?
I remember reading that black journal. It was Primordial dragons can absorb magic. So I wanted to see if I could feed it some of mine.
Okay. I mean, magic is not my thing, so, you know.
And Yara will, when she's given the egg, gently take it and focus on a first level spell that's mist, like not mist, fog. Just see what happens.
So you kind of take your hand, focus the energy of that spell within your hands, like you've done many times before, in order to enchant something, like a magical item, imbuing that spell into a room. Do that same method. There's this tiny bead of it's a conjuration spell, isn't it?
Yeah.
This tiny little bead of golden light in your hands. Just the raw essence of conjuration magic itself. And you kind of let it drift over to the egg. And you watch as it seems to settle against the egg's surface, there's this radiating wave of magic that seems to completely envelop that small spark. And in your mind, Dejar, you swear for a moment you hear this ethereal, short sound of purring. Like a chirping or a chirruping.
Dejar has a look on her face like, what? Her eyes are roving about like,
Soyun, you're there by the campfire. You swear you see the surface of the egg twitch.
Surface of what?
Surface
The
of
egg.
the surface of the egg twitch, and then it's still once more.
Now just sort of looks from the egg, then around to everybody, then back to the egg. Is the egg supposed to move?
And it occurs to you, Soyun, that's not an egg shell. You notice the lines in the egg itself seem to mimic almost the curled up sort of fetal position of a small dragon.
Wait, so it's progressed to the point where it's no longer.
And there's this shaking, there's this shaking in the earth.
Oh, I can't rotate it.
Okay, hang on. There you go.
I'm assuming I need
it
it to be
looks like
to the
a
grid.
Yeah.
So it's no longer an egg. It's like
It's-
progressed to the point
it's-
where it's just like a curled up
It's
a creature held in that shape.
it is shaped like an egg, but it seems as though it's more.
Jesus Christ! Stop messing with the fortress, Atlas.
There's it does look like an egg, but there are subtle, very subtle indents that sort of seem to indicate that if it were to keep growing like this, it would become that shape that you described.
So it's not so much as hatching from an egg as that the shape of the egg is forming into a dragon.
Yes.
Okay.
ah,
It didn't used to look like that, did it?
Oh, it did not.
That may have been feeding it her own magic.
Gronka tickles the egg.
Yeah, surprisingly, it has the texture of diamond, kind of ting 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 ting.
Isn't there something like? I mean, you know, it's been some time since we were down there, but was there not like Vadmia was the dark guardian, and was there not a light guardian that was supposed to help the egg as well?
Oh, that prophecy lock.
Good. Like,
I
were
think-
their combined magics supposed to help the egg hatch and grow or something?
this is news to me.
Well, I mean, you know, you weren't down there for the prophecy, so it's understandable. But I mean, just in general, for those of us that were. And Liska is going to make an intelligence check to try to remember.
Gasp.
All right.
I mean,
Asking for a reason.
We had an egg.
Egg?
Yeah, don't you have to sit on the egg to hatch? I mean,
All I remember is the big fucking spider.
Like, it's hard to it's like, you know, it's
Can I make a roll?
Why is it so...
Scanner.
I'm just trying to open the door to exit.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
not that loud for me. You might need to adjust your sound effects.
I'm gonna reduce the noise a bit.
Them cicadas, man, they fuck you up.
But yeah, can I like do an in check? Because I know Sao would remember it, but I can't.
In check for what exactly?
The prophecy.
Recalling the prophecy thing.
I mean, Sa-Yun is at this point a master artifice, so I don't think she'd even need to do a check for this.
Cool, because seriously though, it's been a while. I
Yeah.
can't recall.
So what exactly about the? There's a big old, lots of things happening in the.
What Liska was
prophecy.
talking about, Jenner.
Yeah.
I think I've just there's a child of starlit night and a child of crystal light are required to bring the Scion into the world. And the Scion will choose its guardians. So the child of crystal night and the child of crystal light, separate from the guardians. Two distinct sort of factions, I think.
Light and crystal light.
Factions, I think you'd call them there.
But another child that to help it hatch.
So there's a singular pair, the child of crystal light, the two children, and there's the egg's guardians.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we need to find the child of crystal light.
I presume that Sal sort of reminds everybody, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
She's sort of recounting the tale to herself, but not, in a whisper.
I too will do a brain check. The other fighter will make an attempt.
Okay.
Yeah. brain hard.
No.
Vellum
Do
is
the
too
brain
distracted by many things.
Intelligent check.
Elegante.
And again,
So all relying on Sayun's information here.
Yeah.
No, that was more
Bronco
because
should do it too.
Should I do a religion check?
I don't think even like a religion check would help, but you can attempt it. I won't say no.
It was more because.
So are you saying like crystal light and crystal night?
Yeah, crystal
Is
light.
that
and
been
crystal.
like
Child of
settled?
starry night and a child of
Starlit
crystal
Night and Crystal Light?
So you can you can either do an Arcana or a religion check.
Okay. It's child of what?
A child of star.
Jenner?
A child of crystal light and a child of starlit night.
Fucking
He's just gonna
rhyming names.
point to Vadima. Which one is she?
Can I give him a is it not obvious look? It's like she's the child of starlit night.
Yeah, the dark color schemes, all that glitteriness.
Like all like the stars that appear on her horns and stuff.
Vellum, you can see as everyone's sort of gesturing and kind of pointing to her, Vadmia's looking a little bit self-conscious and reticent to sort of almost accept that title. Like there's a sense of reluctance.
Gonna go Copper Squat next to her.
Don't take a shit near her.
Copper Squat means to sit.
We have a rock dedicated to that.
Yeah, the rocks are spread out.
So it's
Anyway. I'm
No,
just gonna sort of
okay.
just put a gentle hand on her shoulder. It's alright. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Just seems like you match her descriptions, that's all.
Vadmia is not sure if she wants to be a part of this prophecy.
Yeah, you and me both, but All you should really worry about is what comes next, and if things line up, oh well. But we always got our own choice.
She kind of gazes at the egg for a long, long moment.
Yara is still going to feed the egg again, but
Yeah.
since everyone would probably notice, her arm has crystals growing onto it when she does magic.
That was the player thinking. I had.
You kind of begin to conjure a second level spell or another first level spell.
This time a second level spell that's illusion.
Oh, okay. So you begin to conjure, this time focusing on that sort of crystalline energy that you've often used during combat. Especially that moment when you dispelled the gate stone, the keystone, and dispelled the magic from Mortithax, their invisibility. You focus on that energy and conjure a tiny little kind of sparking bead of purple energy between your fingers, and once more you let it drift over to the egg. It lands on the surface of the egg and is absorbed once more. And again, Sayun, you swear you hear that sort of twitch in the surface of the egg. And you hear once more Dajar, faint ethereal purr.
He was not going crazy.
How much have we been feeding it in general? I know it's sort of there's a relation, but just how much?
Oh, Vadmir has been feeding it most nights, especially when she was in the war.
Zao just sort of narrows her eyes a bit and sort of her eyes dart around as if she's trying to look and think about something. Does any of us know how soon the egg might hatch?
Vadmir shrugs.
I don't really know any dragons, so can't really say.
Sure. Just gonna think about her studies on dragons for a minute. Then Snake will actually think about it.
Just
the history
a rough guesstimate, Blue, because I have a feeling it might actually hatch, and she sort of air quotes, soon.
Out of
Aren't
character.
we supposed to have like a thing before it hatches? Like, isn't that what we're going to Tansia? Like a tablet or something?
Yes.
That is
Yeah,
why
I
I do the soon air quotes.
Should Vadmir not feed it anymore?
I mean, if it's going to be hatched, but sorry, like again, this is magic stuff. Like, so we do need tablets, but why do we need tablets?
The tablet is meant to take it to the hatchery in a safe location.
Okay.
So maybe all this magic gets it ready to hatch, and then it can only hatch in that special place.
Yes.
I mean, do we know that for sure?
Dishar knows that for sure.
Well, there you go then.
Do you? do you, Dishar?
How do you know that for sure?
My adoptive father and a trusted aide told me about it. That only the egg can be hatched in the hatchery.
Okay. So why do we have to feed it in the first place?
Part primordial dragons can create and destroy magic. I guess that's how it aids in their life. There's not much more known about primordial dragons, so the rest is...
Around Varnia's time feeding the egg in the wall, it's like it was feeding off of it, like it was eating it.
That's like how the child needs food.
Exactly. I think.
Well, most eggs are all the food it needs to hatch, at least for like chickens and other dragons. So you're saying this one needs outside influence?
But this
Yes.
is like a normal egg, does it?
No.
Well, either way, even if like there's no harm in feeding it, still, just like let Vladimir do her thing. It's not using any resources we need, and I'd rather be sure that we're giving it what it needs so it can hatch instead of just figuring it's not worth it and then starving the thing.
And what are you doing, Dajar? Like you keep muttering and it's like you're casting a spell. Like what's happening?
I'm feeding it my magic. And she...
Oh, like I was doing.
Yes, and this time she holds up a cantrip, firebolt. This is the start of it, the spark. And you see her arm grow with crystals, and she lightly drops the spark onto the eggshell. That'll be the last time she does it.
Once again, the egg swells.
It explodes.
Yeah, fireball, accidental fireball.
Shouldn't like the what is it, child of light or like crystal light do that? Like don't we need to find them to like have that be a thing?
The guard holds a firebolt, and her arm fully grows in crystals. And maybe it's... you guys keep saying crystal light. Is this it?
You know?
I have
Maybe.
no idea. But the fact that you keep feeding it without knowing is kind of disturbing.
That natural one coming into effect there.
Well, I'm gonna assume this is only a positive thing, and maybe, who knows?
Is there any way to check? Like, was there anything in the prophecy that told us, like, might have hinted at who the child of crystal light is?
Prophecy's always bunk.
I mean, you say that, and yet that is the entire reason that we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, why are we doing that? If the prophecy's bunk,
Oh, I meant bunk in terms of details. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I'm not really... I'm not really gonna think about that too hard.
no, I think a good conversation could be had about that. I'd like to talk about it. I don't know how to feel about that, as he points to the egg.
So you don't feel okay with a egg of a primordial dragon?
I don't know. It's very strange. They're going on about prophecies and in changes in some sort of fate on magic and things. And I canna say I understand. It just feels a bit culty.
Well, the way I've been handling it, Angus, is well, think of it this way. I can't say I like the old prophecy thing myself, but the way I see it is there is an unborn child here that is in our care, and it from what we know, came from somebody who meant well. So I have no reason to believe that if and when this thing does hatch, that it will be a bad thing. So why not just take care of it as we're going?
Question. We've killed every single dragon until now that we've seen. Liska also is famous for slaying dragons. We have a record of killing dragons. Why don't we kill it right now?
Because
No.
they were assholes who attacked us, and this is an unborn child.
And we've also not killed every dragon we've come across, and it's a very specific type of dragon that we kill. And this is not one of them.
What
If
dragon
it,
have
if
we
it
come
wakes up
across that
and
we
attacks
haven't
us, then
killed?
that's a different story. But
We didn't kill the giant crystal dragon that was this dragon's mother. There was a ruby
Oh, I can see
dragon
that.
that we had like suspicions of having that was actually helping us. There was the crystal dragonborn lady that we didn't kill. There's a lot of dragons that we haven't killed.
Oh, I wasn't there for those. I don't know.
You weren't there for the lady that was traveling with us in the motorbike?
I think it means just the previous ones.
Oh.
I don't even know about this red dragon.
The
I'm
ruby
just-
dragon.
I think
Yeah.
the
It's
Dragonborn
the
things are
crystals, it's
different?
the ruby dragons that came. I mean, but I don't think they are. Like, I think they're born from, they come from the main primordial dragons. But to answer your question, Vellum, that's where you got that ruby, like the giant chunks of ruby. You remember we came out and it looked like it might have been a dragon
right, them
attack
things, yeah.
against the orcs that were trying to attack us. Oh, and she looks at it's like it. The dragon killed reinforcements that were coming from the goblin siege
wait, what? When did this happen?
during the siege. When we were fighting on Dwell. Remember that path that was headed south that kind of went around between
I
the
went
seaside
up and
river?
I was up there and I was fighting against our war chief and
No,
don't know
that
what
was on
was-
the mountain to the southwest. To the south, there was a path that went straight down around the mountain.
right. I
That's
have
where-
no recollection of a ruby dragon.
Oh no, it didn't happen during the war.
Okay.
Or I mean, it didn't happen during the battle.
We didn't see
Sorry,
it happen.
It wasn't in the battle we were in. They happened during the battle, south of the battle, to help us during the battle.
Did
Oh,
it
an
help us, or
ally.
was it just trying to control territory? As
It was
monsters often do.
It was trying to help us. There'd be no reason for it to attack them and not everybody else in the battlefield.
You know,
Angus,
is there a...
a thought comes to you that that legend lore you cast on the ring, that stranger,
Ah, shade.
What?
Oh,
There's
it's just
a
not
rock for
legend
that.
lore.
Fucking.
The story of fuck words. The Giants Empire. Remember the downfall of that?
Hey, there's the giant dragons that happened. It came along.
How did the dwarves aid in that fight?
I attempt to recall that information.
Yeah, I don't have those books anymore. I returned them. So good luck.
I'm going to roll a history check just exactly. Yeah, no, I can't remember.
Let's see. I have the World Anvil page up, but let me go ahead and roll a history.
Our intelligence is lacking tonight.
Don't worry, Grunko will roll an intelligence and save us.
Hello.
All I know is the name of Clan Talonscream, and much more beyond that, I can't remember the details. It's a little hard at the moment, and I'm pretty sure the drink hasn't helped.
You know what? I might as well just go through my papers. I've did a lot of studies and took a lot of notes. Can't remember it off the top of my head.
Sorry, I've just come back. I'll just type in something.
Oh yeah, I did a history roll to try and remember
History checks.
of what
Yeah, he
happened
said he didn't
with the
recall
way
much.
the dwarves.
Ah, right. Okay, I see what's going on here. Dejar.
Dwarves trying to recall history, yeah.
Yeah.
How they ate it.
Actually, what's everyone's passive history?
My passive
you're not actively in
history
combat
is
right now, so
14.
14.
17.
14 and
9.
17.
14.
Big 10.
I think Dejar would be able to recall this. You're trying to recall about the
Dwarfs' involvement for the battle against the Akteshi Empire.
And-
right.
Yep. And the dragons that also aided.
Yes,
in
yes. That was the Brood War. That was the war between prismatic, chromatic, and the chromatic dragons and the Akteshi Empire. In fact, you recall, Angus, the Akteshi puzzle pyramid, the mural that was on it.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's in the one with the proper descriptions in your inventory. Is it in your containers?
It's my bag of holding.
Your bag of holding. Okay, let me grab that out.
Yep, I have it there.
Okay.
What are you doing?
We're kind of messed up today.
Just
I'm
yeah,
not taking anything out at the moment.
yeah, I'm
Why not?
just checking it.
Careful, don't break it.
Yeah, I know. So the puzzle pyramid depicted a.
I'm aware of that.
Okay. Yeah. That puzzle pyramid seems to depict a faction of dragons depicted on that puzzle pyramid with inlaid gemstones. That of a ruby gemstone, a topaz gemstone, a sapphire gemstone, emerald, and let's see, a diamond. Fighting on the side of the enslaved, the recently freed. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
but there's nothing. There's several things and depictions and things together and different gems in the eyes, but yes, it doesn't go into exact detail on that.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm aware of.
It appears to be a simple mural. No text on it. It's the Akteshi Empire fighting both the chromatics and the chromatics, prismatics.
I'm aware of that in the item's description, but is that like actual known history or something he knows?
Let's see. With a 14, there are historical rumours about dragons' involvement in the War of Broken Chains. Mostly resigned to stories and myths and legends. Supposedly, there's an element of draconic involvement with the art of runecraft. And Deja, you would also know this. In fact, yeah, you know about ruby dragons.
Yep.
One thing that ruby dragons are also known for, it's they have a fondness for making things, forging things, using their breath in the process.
It would be at that point Dishar would mention her knowledge on ruby dragons, that they like to create and forge things, and hinting at the dwarven involvement in the empire's, giant empire's destruction, the downfall. Both sides could probably have some type of connection. Did that come through?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, we're all just big thought.
Thinking they could have some kind of connection. Just thinking.
Point is, it seems like they're not all bastards, basically.
They're
Not, I guess, not all. At least in times of past.
They're still not. He says very confidently.
Chin scratch, thinking.
And also, when it hatches, it will be a baby, so
Right.
don't think it'll be a problem.
Also,
Well, it can very easily grow into a problem. If it's not, if it is a bastard, that's one thing. If it's not, that's another. But, how do you know it's not gonna become a bastard? Or, doesn't mean we should, punish it before, but it's just worrisome, because there's some big consequences about bringing a dragon egg into the world.
okay.
And the
So you
dragons
just
were
looked-
around before most everybody else. Just saying.
Yes.
We kind of came into
Yeah.
that world.
And we can't
I'll
just,
just sort of-
play it by ear. Oh, sorry, Sam, go ahead.
Sarah just sort of looks at everybody and then just asks directly, does any of us feel ready to be a parent?
No.
Let's just
Sorry.
go look at Vellum.
I'm already
Vellum is
very-
going to be oblivious.
I'm
Really,
fine.
Vellum?
Already
Really?
have Webby.
Sorry, that fucking killed me.
Right, what was that? Was that
Pretty
Gab?
good.
I say I already have Webby. I'm fine. Yeah.
And I don't think it's really that we become a parent because it'll be in the hatchery when it actually hatches.
Yeah, I figure that's another reason to get there, because it will be among people who know better, and we can, get more answers from them, see if they're on the up and up, and go from there.
So I know there's a lot of, apparently dragon colours and clans and fights and allegiances and all these things. I mean, look at what's going on between Black Dragonborn and the Blue, the colour? Takia, and,
The diamond
there's-
dragons and the
and
black dragons.
this is convoluted, and there's a lot of different long-running, potentially aeons old, bad and good blood, and I don't feel this is something we should just jump into and just it's a baby, and so let's just take care of it. And they might not see it that way. If I worry that we'll be tying ourselves to something in allegiance that's it's really just above us. I don't know if this is something we should be honestly getting involved in, and the kid's grimacing whenever we talk about it. I don't think she even wants to get involved in it.
Well, she's a child who has been thrust into a lot of responsibility. It's understandable that she would be hesitant, especially if she is unknown to it, but I was asked specifically by someone to take care of their child, and that is what I am doing.
And even if we're not right for the task, which I have no idea at this point, where our path might end up, our path will probably end up with us taking it to that hatchery anyway. So if we feel we're not up to it by that point, we could just give it to them and say, hey, we're not suited for this. Look after it, please. You're better for it than us.
Okay, I'm gonna just ask these 3 questions. Well, mainly, do you have any questions, Angus, about the Dragonborn and such?
I have lots of questions, but I'll start off with a very obvious one. What if this thing grows up, starts getting big, or it starts doing terrible things? And it may do it. We can't say for sure that it won't. If it starts doing terrible things, will we have it in us to kill it if it turns into a monster? Because if we bring it in and it starts turning into a monster, it's 'cause of us. And I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
Well, I figure, whoever ends up raising this thing, it's kind of on them to make sure it doesn't.
Consequences and all, but
Well,
to answer that question,
where's the parent? Why did they ask you, Liska, to do this?
He died.
Oh yeah, she's dead. Very dead.
So,
Her dying wish was for us to take care of her daughter.
did you know it? What was the justification of this? It's just...
We were given the prophecy by a third party. We met this other individual who was in no way connected to them at all, who verified the prophecy. And then they saying, this is the child of prophecy. Take care of it for me so that she may live and save your world. And we decided to take that at face value. Well, not at face value, because again, they verified each other separately. Sal explained it a lot better than I am right now, but the gist is, we feel like the prophecy is true, and we're doing our part to make sure that the world is saved. You remember Maribs? That's who we're trying to face.
God damn it.
you mean there has to
Fuck
be
you,
another name for
Ethan.
that. I don't. Do
You know he's
know
gonna
the
do it
actual
every
name?
single time.
Every single time.
You eventually,
Damn it.
eventually, you're just gonna forget the actual name of the villain, and it just.
I almost did
I
myself.
mean, we did, and that's how we got Maribs.
Okay.
Anyway,
Continue.
well, however much stock you put into that, Angus, if it's a bit complicated to think about or worry about, just take it as I have, that we were asked to look after a kid because their mother was dying, and I figure that's a good enough reason for me.
Yeah, I'm just worried because this thing can grow up to be just absolutely awful, and to the point that we need a lot of people like you, points to Liska, to go kill it because it's a monster. And
And it
we
will
could
grow up
bring
to
that
be
into...
absolutely wonderful. That will fight on our side to fight the oncoming evil that is coming.
Here's the
That
thing,
that
Angus.
we've witnessed in person through shattered red mirrors.
I
Here's the
just...
thing, Angus. I'll
Hold
say
on.
this.
What if...
Please.
Alright.
I'm just gonna preface it this way. I am a bounty hunter. I hunt monsters that look and talk and move around in villages and cities like every other mortal. You can't just say that one person can be a monster. We all have the capability of being a monster. That is no doubt in my mind. But we all have the capability of being saints too. So don't just throw a label out on someone when you don't know what they are capable of and what they are willing to do.
Especially one that hasn't even been born yet.
In one case, you can call someone a monster and they could save your life, not asking for anything in return. And the person you deem as a saint could stab you in the back.
I'll just say this. And this guy just kind of is going to look at everybody. It's just like to kind of what the genre said. I have seen a rich man beg. I've seen a good man sin. I've seen a tough man cry. I've seen a loser win. I've seen a sad man grin. And I've heard an honest man lie. And, you know, it's just... you never know until you're there. You can take precautions, but you have to go forward. And the kind of information that we've been given by multiple sources that have helped us, maybe, that have helped us, that this is something that, you know, that we have been tasked with. Yeah, it's, you know, no one wants to go. Like, I don't think any of us wants to be like, hey, I need to be the savior of the world. Like, that is a lot of responsibility. But we've just been tasked with getting it to the next step. And then from that point, you know, it's someone else's job to get it to the next step. And so forth until the time has come and we're, you know, the world is saved or it is not.
God damn it.
Nothing is ever easy. But when is anything good ever easy?
Same thing, you damn demons and your poetry. Fine. I don't like it. I don't want to believe it, and I don't just trust it and take it as it is. But I do like you. I do want to believe you. And I will trust you. Right? Even if I'm not for all this, as he gestures around. I'm for this, as he dismissively gestures around. Fine. Don't get me caught up in that prophecy business. I'm having enough bad dreams as it is. Just...
You best start believing in prophecies, Angus. You're in one.
While everyone was talking...
If I had a jar of dirt for every time I've heard that, it would be 2, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Yard talks to Valima, handing in the egg. Thank you, Sylvan.
Hey, thank you. Dude, you are good with magic, yes?
Yes.
And she kind of shuffles her hooves in the dirt a bit. Do you think you could help me practice her magic?
You're actually... He's actually smiling. Sure.
And Vladimir's face immediately kind of lights up. Vladimir had a few magic things that Vellum gave her, and she kind of holds out this
Fucking stop again.
Please
Swear to
don't
God.
pull out the stick.
Oh, wait, this stick?
Ah!
And she also
It's all in a joking tone.
The smiling stick.
smiling stick, yeah,
A stick.
stick of smiles. You bap someone over the head with it and then smile. And she pulls out what looks like a tiny little silver raven statue.
Oh. Be
Yeah, I
careful
taught
with
her the
that.
basics of some attunement, but might be good for her to know a bit more about the intricacies of magic. I'm no good for that.
Well, you at least gave her a start. That's something. Says
Yeah,
in,
I do
Big
know
Tongue.
a few basic things like she kind of waves a hand, and you watch as this from the sort of light of the egg it emerges this this sort of dark starlit ethereal hand. She casts Mage Hand.
You know, that brings a question.
Hmm?
Is it the egg with the magic, and she's holding it? So she does. How does she get the magic? Like, do you have to read a book, like the jar does, or?
You had that when we met you, didn't we?
Yeah, Vladimir does not know how she got the magic. Just sort of came to her.
He is what most mages would call gifted. He doesn't need to learn it from books. It comes naturally to her.
Oh, like a magical prodigy sort of thing.
Exactly. The magical prodigy.
So it's, is it like intuitive?
It's mostly intuitive. It's like her with magic is just like you taking a breath.
Sort
No
of.
thought.
It is, Vladimir can also do this, and with that she kind of blinks once, and suddenly she's Gronka. And she casts disguise self.
It took
Wow, that's
me.
a great impression.
It takes mages at least months, if not a year, to learn certain spells and keep them. She taps her head inside the mind, but with a prodigy, brings just natural. Some might be frustrated, and some are absolutely. What's the word for it? Happy that certain individuals exist.
And if Vladimir concentrates really hard, and you watch her begin wincing as suddenly she turns invisible.
Oh.
And you just hear this ethereal voice go, but that is the limit of Vladmir's abilities so far.
And the shard uses a more of a gentle version of the spell magic, and it's like ripping off a sheet of a child.
She kind of giggles for a moment, and
I see.
stuffs the egg back in her backpack.
Like I said, you're a natural.
Maybe I can do many things one day.
I'm sure you will.
That is no doubt. My husband was a mind.
You just cut out.
No, that was purpose. He just
Oh, she just trailed off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Right then. Interesting things we've all learned.
Angus,
I
you
look at the. Oh, good.
you still want to do that? Need my help with making something? I can't quite remember what it was.
Oh, yes, I was hoping you could help me do some research and studies with the rocks and figuring out how our alchemy and shifting magic works.
If we have the time tonight, can we do that? I need to keep myself busy.
Alright, I would like to do that. We can talk about some magic and some things. He kind of looks from her and then does like a little side-eye glance to Vadima with the egg a couple of times. But I look at it.
Okay. Just is best way to sound is he's tired, but not physically tired. Just trails off.
The kind of tired sleep won't fix.
Nope.
I understand.
Alright. So,
Does Vadima have a response?
I didn't quite catch.
Oh, he said, "Oh, can I look at it?" As he kind of looks at the egg.
Okay. Just be very, very careful. And with that,
No, you hold on to it.
he kind of takes it out of the bag again, sort of very, very gingerly holds it. And even now you can see she's not actually holding it, it's just sort of floating just above her hands.
Oh, a little bit of a shudder. Wait. As he kind of gets a little closer, scooches a little closer, like a child nudging towards a creepy-looking doll. And he starts uncurling a finger with a shaky hand, reaching out like he's trying to go forward and touch it, like someone with arachnophobia trying to touch a stuffed spider doll. And he kind of winces and grimaces and turns away and pokes it.
Okay. You poke it. And much akin to how the egg responded to those single beads of magic that Dajar was feeding it, there's a sense of almost warmth at your touch. And a number of you watch it as this faint, very faint prismatic aura around the egg seems to sort of weave itself around your hand, your finger. It's less a sudden shock as it was the last time you touched the egg. And for that moment, there's a connection that's formed. Bond. It's hard to describe. You sense more maturity in the unborn creature that is this egg, not within the egg, but that is this shape. You gather that the last time you touched it, it was like the response one might feel against a mother's stomach as a baby kicking. That sudden shock of visions. But now it seems to recognize you, knows that you're there. And there's it regards you and it regards you the same way a child might sort of clutch onto a finger and sort of giggle. You hear this this chirruping purr in your head.
Does it give or cause the same sudden flash of visions originally?
No.
The finger holds there as he kind of opens one eye and raises a brow, and some of the tension fades a little bit away, and he feels that sensation and that odd familiarity. Just, Right, well.
You okay, Angus? She does actually know you're called Angus. It's,
Yeah, she does.
oh, she does.
I thought it was gonna do something scary again.
Oh, like the first time?
I thought it was gonna do something like that, like the first time. Yes. A little more. I don't know. Jeez. Fine, I'll help. Just. I'll be nice to you. Just be nice to dwarves. Remember, it's the Silverhearth clan that will feed you first. He's kind of and turns away and side glances at the egg, with a little worried expression, and he goes back to being stubbornly looking away. Right. Speaking of feeding, how about some dinner and we'll do that thing you want to the jar. You're feeling well enough?
Jar has
Also,
landed around the corner. She
Unless
slinked
you can
off while you were talking to Ragnar.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There. Hello? Where'd she go?
Sal just points. Yeah, Sal just points it out to him.
Well, I'll meander around and go knock. Anyone else want to do anything before he gets to Jar?
No. I think this is reaching a sort of neat wrapping up point in general.
Yeah, I have something, but I can push it for next session because of time. So we'll go talk to a snake.
Do we just continue on that, or?
Yeah, we can continue on the after.
Okay. He'll meander around and trying to figure out where she went. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry. He kind of turns around. Are you done with your business?
Yeah, you just as soon as you went around the corner, you just heard the Jar singing in a foreign language and a normal one on a harp. But as soon as you round the corner, it's abruptly stopped. I'm fine. I was just... Never mind.
You... How about you and I do something a little more fun, huh? Now, I know I just set up my tower. It's up and going. I think this is the first time he's actually deployed it.
Yeah, it would probably be.
Would you like to step inside and see what it's like? You know, I've got some brews on tap, and it's not quite as fancy as Fulham's wagon, but some cozy beds if you need a place to rest your head safely. And
Yeah, something's. Yeah.
I
You just. Here just comes right behind you. Just. The chipper part of her voice is on. He's rubbing her hands after he put away the harp.
Oh, she had a harp out?
Yeah, he had a harp he pulled out of her bag of holding.
Oh, I didn't know that. I heard she was singing a song. I didn't know she was playing a harp.
Yep.
Oh, I couldn't help but notice that you and I play the same little ditty, or at least the same little instrument. I didn't strike you for a harp kind of lass. I thought you would be more of a kick drummer. Eyebrow raised and he leans forward.
There's no response. He's quiet.
I don't know what it is that's upsetting me. I might have an idea, and I don't want to pray too far. But I will say that sometimes there are some differences that happen with our family and loss. And while I haven't had someone quite like what you said in my life, I do know what it's like to lose people close. So even if it's a wee bit different, I think we're all here. If we got through the bog, we can get through this. And, well, whatever lay ahead of us, I suppose we've got each other to get through it.
Yes, but he's trying to find the words. It's I'm just carrying a heavy burden. That's all. No one
Suppose. Sorry, go on.
No one can understand the weight I carry, even if I try to explain it. I put so much, lost a lot. Feels like I'm going nowhere.
Sometimes it feels like no one can understand us. And maybe our burdens are truly unique. Even if the cause is different. Everyone's hurt. Everyone's felt sad and joy and our situations may be unique. But the feelings are all too familiar. And if we've ever felt this low, well, at some point the tide has to have been at least that high. Every deep ravine has its mountain peak. And things feel as deep as they do because at one point you've been atop the summit. And you have to go down into the ravine and trudge through all that washes down from above. But the reason we do that is because you have to descend it. Because the next peak is gonna be higher. But you can never see the top from the bottom. You just have to know that it's there. And no one climbs a mountain alone. Here. And he's gonna take out a little piece of rope. And he's gonna cut off about a foot from his 50 feet of rope. He's going to start tying it up. Pass it over. This is a special cinch knot. This is the one we used when we were in the mines. Sometimes a cave will rapidly descend. It'll be a cliff. And it's an easy way to lose a lad. So, this is the exact same type of knot I would tie around myself and the 3 other lads as we would go out mining. One time I fell. But I had this knot, and I was able to hold on to the rope because I knew at the other end there was someone else on the other side. If it wasn't for Malgrick, I wouldn't be here. And whenever you feel like you're not gonna be here, well, hold on to this knot and decide not today. Because you've got a lot of people that are trying to hold on to you, even if you can't see the other end of the rope. And he'll pat the rope that's hanging from his backpack. It's still got another side, and it's still tied to us.
To mention the last bit, genuine smile on her face.
Anywho, I think work can wait for another day. I have suddenly become very thirsty, and I just happen to have this big old jug, wonderful bright orange thing full of beer, and you know what? We're out of the bog. I don't think we've celebrated yet. I think this is a time for us all to come together and let's have a drink, and tell you what, you play your harp and I'll let you choose if I play mine or the bagpipes. I recommend against the latter. And let's have a wee party. And let's celebrate the fact that we're here and we're moving forward.
Sure.
Right.
Harp back out again.
see if we can at least get a sing.
You can accomplish that. I bet ya 50 gold, if you can.
I know not to take a losing bet, but it's worth a try. Come on, let's get back to the fun.
All right.
Alright. And with that, we both return to the rest of the group. And for the rest of the night, joyous celebrations and stories are told from your homelands, and just a sense of this sense of relief. You've gone through, experienced the trials, and come out the other side of the Morbog in one piece. And if someone else wants to do like something here during the downtime, we will get to it next session.
Yes.
Is that okay with everyone?
Much yes.
I
Yep.
think so.
Yep.
Okay. And with that, we will end the session there. Okay. Good session all. I'm going to stop recording in 3, 2, 1.